Now, hello everybody, and welcome to James Squared episode 19. Here with Melau and Gonzales. Hopefully, you're having a great day wherever you may be. We got to mention uh, to follow and subscribe Halos in the Infield on YouTube and then also on Believe.com for all your podcast forms of this uh, formation here. And then also check out Noble Ale Works at 1621 Sinclair Street, Suite B, Anaheim, California. Remember, you can park there for free for the Angel games. It's a good walk back and forth. Also, tell them, Heedy or mention Heedy, and you'll get uh, dollars off your pints there. And then also, Milu 714 tickets.
714 tickets, 714 tickets. You can call today and go tonight.
If that left field advertisement wasn't big enough for you to see, I guess we'll tell you about them. Put in that HITI code for 10% off and 5% going forward. And it's for any tickets. The summer is kicking off. That's a bunch of concerts going on. There was a big Kendrick Lamar concert yesterday in LA, and hopefully those who went use 714 tickets with that code. Also, football season's coming up. For the Freeway Series, you can also get your tickets there. And then when the Angels come home for the homestand to end the month of June, be sure to use 714 tickets and our promo code HITI for more savings. And by Bet Online. Bet Online is your number one source for NBA and NHL playoffs. Well, NBA is over with. The Boston Celtics won their 18th championship. But NHL, there's one more. There could be two more games. It's Game 6 tomorrow in Edmonton, and it's a 3-2 Florida lead, but momentum has shifted in that series. If you've been watching, it's been fun. Every stat in every matchup and even live odds while the games are being played, so that's really big there. And then when that game is over, or any game is over, head on to our online casino and get in a game of blackjack, poker, or unwind with our 150 slot games. Over 150, by the way. Head over to the website today, betonline.com, and to get on the action, don't forget to use the promo code BELIEVE, all in caps, BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, the game starts here. And the recaps meeting will start here. We'll talk quickly about that Arizona series. When we last talked, we talked about 2 of the 3 games there. And then Anderson, not Anderson. He started that Friday against San Francisco. Griffin Canning just had a awful start against the Snakes. PFOG got the win. Diamondbacks had a 6-run inning in the 7th, and that blew the Angels away to lose that series. That final score was 11-1. They left the desert to go to San Francisco. And the funniest thing happened, Milu. The Angels won on a Apple TV Plus game. That was odd to see that Friday night. And Tyler Anderson did well and got his 6th home run. Ohapi had a 2-run home run. He's been seeing the ball well as of late, at least for the power. He's seen it. Moniak was hitting well, not as of late, but in that series he was definitely seeing the ball well. But Anderson pitched well enough to get a win. Saturday, they won 4-3. They held on that weekend, Saturday, to win that series. Estevez got his 12th save. Ohapi had a 467-foot blast. I mean, that thing was killed. Moniak had another home run as well. It was a 4-3 Angel win. And then Sunday came, we were hoping for the sweep. But the Giants woke up. Suarez got that start. And that was just a pitiful time. There was 9 runs in that 4th inning. And that just blew the game open for the Giants. They won 13-6. It was just bad. Joyce, had that spot start. And he did very well. But it wasn't until Jose Suarez came in And then in his inning of work, he gave up 5 hits, 5 runs, and he threw a walk as well. And then Strickland came in to put more gasoline on the fire in his 2/3 innings of work. Um, he gave up 4 hits and 4 on runs, or 3 on runs, 4 altogether. And then Carson Fulmer came in late and gave up 4 runs himself. Guillerme was the pitcher in the bottom of the 8th as a position player, and you hate seeing that, especially for your team. But that's what happened. So Giants, at least, hey, they took 2 out of 3. Now they came back home, did the Angels. They played Milwaukee, and they won the first game. It was kind of a shock. I didn't know what to expect, but Zach Plesac had a great start. And Melau, I've been advocating for him to start to come up, when the injuries happen to the rotation, at least to Silseth, but they want to see what Soriano had. And unfortunately on that Monday, like you broke in our chat, that Soriano was scratched, and Plesac being called up, got his first start. He didn't know until about 1 or 2 o'clock locally when he got to the ballpark that he was going to start. And Neto hit another home run, but Plesac, 6 innings of work, 3 runs given up, 4 hits, not too bad. I was really happy for him to get the win. I always wondered why the hell was he not brought on from the major league roster in March from spring training. It was just a shock to me. Esteves got his 13th save, and then Melau, the last 2 games happened, and it was so unfortunate to see. The Brewers won 6-3 on Tuesday. Canning got another loss. He went to 2-8. Yelich had a home run to start things off. The Angels did not do much offensively. Just the 3 doubles. Hoppy had a throwing error. Drury had a throwing error. Adele had that fielding error that allowed Jackson Churio, that rookie, to come all the way home. A little league home run. But looking at Griffin Canning, 5 innings of work, 8 hits, 6 runs, 5 were earned, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. He's starting to. If he didn't lose me already, Melau, he's already lost me. He's gonna lose everybody now. And then yesterday or Wednesday, the Angels were shut out. There were so many 0-4s in the lineup. Tyler Anderson pitched well enough to get a win, but Freddie Peralta shut down the Angels. They were just really, really weak when it came to the hitting. Anderson, again, he went 7 innings, 1 earned run, 4 hits, only giving up 3 walks and 5 strikeouts. This has been his typical starting numbers, and it's just unfortunate that it's led to a 6-7 record. Garcia came in and also gave up that run to make sure that the Angels were not going to win. So, Melau, out of the 3 series we saw, what stood out to you?
Well, that Giant series, that was huge. I didn't think we'd go into San Francisco and get 2 out of 3, but we did on the heels of some great pitching, and also Ohapi and Neto, as well as Moniak, all heating up in that series to secure at least 2 wins. And then Sunday we just fell apart. But it was good to see that Ohapi's showing glimpses of why he may be a future All-Star, man. He launched that 470-foot homer. That was way gone. Like Mike Trout territory right there.
Mm-hmm.
So that was good to see. The pitching was holding its own for the most part, consistent for the first 2 games. And then Suarez, we had that bullpen game. And that was, I knew that was a sign of things to come, because every time we have a bullpen game, like a couple seasons ago, it seems like every game was a bullpen game. It doesn't necessarily work, especially for the Angels. So Suarez, who eventually was DFA'd after the game that Sunday, the following day, which brought Plesac up from AAA. Terrible. Strickland put more gasoline on the fire, as you said. But that series was pretty good until that Sunday game. I mean, that was more what we need to see from the Angels consistently, is hitting with runners in scoring position and just all around just taking it to teams. But as we all know, that's not the Angels' way of baseball this year. So that Giant series did stand out. And then, of course, we played Milwaukee, and then we were back to being Dr. Jekyll. Where it all fell apart. But I was very impressed with Zach Plesac's start. That was on short notice. That was all that you could ask for from a pitcher. You know, he did his job. And like you said, James, I don't know why he hasn't been up here. He was signed to a major league deal in the offseason to pitch in this rotation. And I know he hasn't been, his numbers haven't been too good AAA, but at Salt Lake, but I think he earned a chance to at least start again in this upcoming series, probably against the Dodgers, where it's to be announced. So we'll see in the Freeway Series, but we'll see what happens. I don't know. We just laid a fat egg in that Brewer series. We started off good. We always seem to win that first game of the series and just fall apart. I mean, the second game, I mean, well, we could have actually, there were very winnable games. The last two, the middle game, the rubber match, and then the last game, very two winnable games, but the hitting went away. And then I think the second game, it was the pitching. The third game, it was the hitting that didn't show up. So inconsistencies all around. But I'm looking forward to this series, this quick 2-game series, the Freeway Series upcoming with the Dodgers. I think either we're going to get killed or it's going to be a good series for us. We'll see.
It is weird because we grew up, it was always 3 there and 3 here, and it was always on a weekend. It was never 2 and 2, and now they've split the 4-game series into 2s, one now and one later in September, I want to say, in Anaheim, if that's correct.
Which I don't understand. It should be 3 and 3, like all the other series that we play.
I just don't get it. Before we get to Freeway Series, let's give you some team notes and news and injuries. So there was just something that just came out about Jose Soriano. We just mentioned him, and he was scratched from that Monday start. Well, he had abdominal infection, ab infection, and he's put on the 15-day IL retro to June 17th. So that's why he missed that Monday start. And then Cole Tucker was outrighted to AAA Salt Lake City. And I know people were clamoring to see him more in the starting lineup. It was kind of awkward to see him here and there and pinch running and pitch hitting, but never really starting. And when he did, he actually kind of provided a little spark on the base pass. He still wasn't hitting well, but I would like to see him at least get more of playing time. And then speaking of injuries, well, it's hit Brandon Drury again. This time, it's an illness. He was originally, penciled into Wednesday's lineup at second base and batting 6, but he was scratched due to illness, and that's why Guillorme took his place and batted 9th. Remember, Drury was just activated off the injured list on the 17th after missing a month with that left hamstring injury. And I mentioned Jose Soriano already. And then we mentioned Jose Suarez, and what the hell took so long? How many chances Suarez was
2 or 3
given?
years too.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, last year it was warranted to do it. I mean, when the last game he pitched that I saw before, he really left the before he went to the IL. What was it? It was against the Rangers. I think it was a Sunday game around this time last year. And he gave up, I can't remember, 6 or 8 runs. He had no stuff at all. And then he went out with an elbow injury. I think it was more embarrassment than an injury. I would have thought you got to cut ties. I don't care how long he's been in the organization. I don't know what promise or what was seen to think that, okay, maybe if we change him tipping pitches that he'll do better. But Milu, I didn't see any improvement whatsoever. He didn't get to start again unless it was an emergency start, and he was put in for long relief in which he was just battered. So, what did you think about Suarez finally getting DFA'd? And you would think he would be released or claimed or something. What do you think will happen to him?
Well, it was a long time coming. It was 3 years too late, unfortunately, for Suarez to get DFA'd. I mean, like you said, I mean, it was like pouring gas on a oil fire. It's like it's the water on oil. It was terrible. Every time we come in, he'd give up some runs. I mean, he had glimpses of doing well. He got out of some innings, but mostly he was just terrible. And I don't know why. He had something on Artie Moreno because he must have to be put in those situations again and again and again. And it's probably because he was good friends with Rengifo, so that could have been, they grew up together, so that could have been a thing. Maybe he was a good clubhouse presence. I don't know. Good guy, but lousy pitcher, and he should have been gone a long time ago. And it's good to see that he was DFA'd because every other pitcher that we've had that was a gas can was DFA'd eventually. So it was good to see. Good to see him get off the team.
And you know what I liked? If you caught the Lone Star Halo podcast a couple of days ago, they were talking about Amir Garrett being DFA'd before Jose Suarez. Now, they brought Garrett back. He's down at AAA, but he did so much better than Suarez.
Yeah.
It was just a mystery why, okay,
better stuff.
You got to let him go. You got to see what Amir Garrett has and keep him up here. He's been known to be erratic, but we saw him do a little bit better when Walsh had that talk to him alone on the mound with Garrett. He did very well. And it was just
I think, one bad game, I think, for us. He gave up a go-ahead home run that eventually we lost that game, but as usual. But he had some good stuff, and before that he was pitching very well. So I don't know. I never got why they stuck with Suarez all this time. He wasn't good from the start. So
okay, Milu, let's get to that Freeway Series that we always we can't wait for, just because we know so many Dodger fans, and we know they've been braggadocious as of late when it comes to this rivalry. They've met 144 times in the regular season. The Angels hold a slim margin of victories over the Dodgers at 73 and 71. That would be tied at the end of this weekend. The largest victory, and I do remember this game, it was 13-0 in LA. The Angels won. Vladdy hit a big home run to get things started. I think, it was a Friday night, so I definitely remember that one. The Dodgers had a 16-3 win in May of 2006. I don't remember that, but I do remember that Angel big game. The Angels had a big winning streak going against the Dodgers. It was 6 games from June 03 and 04. So they won 3 in 03 and then won 3 in 04. The Dodgers, as of right now, have a current winning streak over the Angels at 10, and that starts from 2021. Something has to stop this. It is embarrassing for the Angels not only to have the LA name and the moniker, but to lose, especially on the field too. On and off the field, it's embarrassing. So let's preview the upcoming games in this Freeway Series. The Dodgers come in at 47 and 30, first place in the West, of course. Banged up, but they're fine. The Angels at 29 and 45, fourth in the West, AL West there. Friday night, Patrick Sandoval will start, the lefty. He's 2-8 with a 5.24 ERA. He's trying to get it going better. The Los Angeles Dodgers will come out pitching with Landon Knack. He's 1-1. This will be his 5th game. He has an ERA of 2.61. 26 years of age. He was brought up because of all the different injuries the Dodgers have. Buehler will be out, I think, on the 15-day IL. They just lost Betts and Yamamoto to injury on Sunday against the Royals. I believe both on that day. Betts will be out for some time, but Yamamoto would probably be he'll miss probably 3 starts. Saturday, the Angels do not have a starting pitcher named, but Tyler Glasnow will go for the Dodgers. He's 7-5 with a 3 ERA, and he signed a long-term deal to stay with the Dodgers in this offseason when he was traded from Tampa to the Dodgers. He's always owned the Angels as well whenever he pitched either in St. Pete or at the Big A. He's one of those fiery pitchers that really, really do well. You have to think the Dodgers will do some scouting, Melau, of this Angel team. You have to believe Tyler Anderson's on their radar, and maybe Luis Rengifo is on the radar as well. They've also been rumored to maybe get Luis Robert from the White Sox, so they're also looking for outfield help. Their farm system is pretty deep, so maybe the Angels, as much as we don't want to trade with them, maybe we would have to. So what do you think will happen in this 2-game series up at Chavez Ravine? How many do you think the Angels get, if any?
Well, it's going to be it's a very interesting series because we only play 2 up at Chavez Ravine, but I think we split. I really do. I think we split. I'm gonna say we split the series. We always seem to do better on the road. This is more like a road home series, but the key to this series is to keep Ohtani and Freeman at bay. The pitching, they're going to pitch. We know that. That's no secret. They can pitch. But if we can keep the offense at bay, that's going to be the key to winning games. Of course, timely hitting and pitching on our side. So this series, very interesting. We always seem to play the Dodgers well. As you said before, over the last couple of years, it's been quite one-sided. I don't even know what the all-time record is right now.
It's 73-71. The Angels lead the series.
Right. So this is imperative that we get at least a series win. Well, even if we split, that's going to be a series win for us, this series. And we have a rare Sunday off. But, I mean, this series is very important for a number of reasons. Our crosstown rivals, of course. And it's the Freeway Series. Everyone gets up. We always want to beat the Dodgers. This is, for me, as an Angels fan, this is one of the most exciting series all year, because I want to beat the boys in blue. I want to beat these guys every single time. We all do. On Sunday, I would guess that it's going to be Zach.
It's an off day.
Saturday. Sorry.
Yes,
it's not a 3-game series. I meant Saturday.
I wish it was.
That Saturday game is going to they're going to plug Zach Plesac in and see what he has once again. Or Silseth. Chase Silseth may be ready to go by the time, but I think he needs a couple rehab starts.
Right.
In Salt Lake before I think we see Plesac for sure. He earned it, so we'll see.
That'd be nice.
But, the series. Yeah.
I know he does give up the home run ball, but doesn't everybody? But he only gave up that one in against Milwaukee in that great start. So you say a split. I'm going with a 2-game sweep of LA sweeps the Angels. That's what I'm going to say, sadly. I just don't have belief in Sandoval with all that power in the lineup to face Shohei again. They're going to be extra careful. And you know what might happen, Melau? There might be an intentional walk given up to Ohtani. Don't be surprised if you see that by Ron Washington. Let's say the bases are, there's 1 on or 2 on or whatever. Don't be surprised if they give the intentional walk to Ohtani a couple of times in this series.
And you know what they say? They say players don't get up for series like this for their crosstown rivals, but I beg to differ. I think
I
since
hope.
Otani's on the other side now, there's more of an incentive to beat the Dodgers, I
I
think.
hope that's the
Yeah.
case. I really do. That they take it a little personal that he went to the Dodgers, but I just think everybody. It's a love
It's
fest
all
now.
love. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's a
all
love
love.
fest. I hate that. Um, so speaking of the Freeway Series, so this has been going on since 1997. And the Angels had those horrible, vest uniforms with the different colors. That was the first matchup at well, I think it was at no, it was at Anaheim Stadium at the time before it became Edison Field in 1997. So I'll ask you, what's your favorite Freeway Series moment of all time?
Well, surprisingly, it's not at Angel Stadium. It's at Dodger Stadium. It was back in 1999, the infamous
Oh
Tim
yeah.
Belcher versus Chan Ho Park brawl game. And that was something. I was sitting in the right field seats with a few friends of mine, I remember. And the whole situation happened where Tim Belcher hit Chan Ho Park or whatever happened. Tim Belcher
Oh, it was
didn't
a
think it.
bunt.
Yeah,
It was a
the
bunt, I
bunt.
think.
That's right, the bunt. And then Tim Belcher didn't think anything of it. Then Chan Ho Park started mouthing off to him, and Tim Belcher went to the answer. Then all of a sudden, he karate kicks him. Chan Ho Park karate kicks Tim Belcher out of nowhere, and you just see the bullpens empty.
Hmm.
And then there was a little bit of a fracas going on there. A little bit of a everyone's pushing each other, holding each other back, this and that. I was like, yeah, go, go, go. Come on, Angels.
The crazy
Kick some
part
ass.
about that,
That was an exciting game for
um,
me.
and yeah, that's amazing that you were there at that time, June of '99. I
99.
I can. It was weird because I think Channel Park somehow took exception to his tag, like it was too
Yeah, his
hard of a
tag. Yeah.
tag or something. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh, we're gonna do this, okay? So I know Chanho got some kicks in, but Belcher did get some punches in, and the Dodgers were wearing those blue uniforms at the time. It was crazy how both teams looked that day. Um,
I I do believe that the Dodgers ended up winning that game, if
Probably.
I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but in the end, we won the fight pretty much. So we'll see.
Now, I have one, but it was at an exhibition game I was
Yeah.
at in 2004, I want to say. It was in March or April before the season started. Now, it was personal to me because my dad and his friend John, they got seats behind home plate for the Dodger exhibition game there at Dodger Stadium. So they sat down there. Me and John's son, we set up in the not the blue, but the not the yellow, but I think it or no, it was the yellow section at that time, not the orange because that's the Loge
Yeah.
level, not the highest level, but the third level. Let's just say of Dodger Stadium, and we were also behind home plate. Um, What's funny, I stand up, and all of a sudden something fuzzy gets thrown my way, and it goes down to the second level or whatever. I'll never forget that as long as I live because I'm getting all these insults wearing
Yeah.
red in front of all these Dodger fans. Yeah, just something is thrown like fuzz. I don't know to this day, and it's been 20 years. I don't know what the hell it was that was thrown, and they missed me, by the way. I don't know what the hell it was, but this is only an exhibition game. It was crazy. Now on the field, again, I would have to go back to that 2004 game because I remember I was listening to it at first, and then I watched the rest of it, and it was just amazing too because Robin Ventura was I think, the backup first baseman, or he was the first baseman of the Dodgers that year in '04. And we were talking about Guillorme being the position player pitching. Well, on the top of the ninth of that '04 game in which the Angels won 13-0, there were so many home runs in that game, and Robin Ventura ended up pitching, I think, that top of the ninth. And anyway, it was just a great win because if you remember, '04 was that first year that already spent all that money to get all these players. And when you beat your, crosstown, well, really crosstown rival, cross county rival with the Dodgers, that's really saying something. So that was really great to see. Russell Martin getting thrown out that one year at the Big A, and the Angels ended up winning because of a out at second and the run didn't score. That was like 2012 or 2013, I believe.
Yeah.
I had a couple of friends at that game. And then Vince Scully's last visit to Angel Stadium in 2016, I always remember that too, because they gave him a good ceremony and they honored him, and he took all the pictures with all the former Dodger players that became their coaches, and Mike Trout was there with Weaver. So that's also great. So, speaking about Mike Trout, and we're having this conversation every damn year, Melau. It's really unfortunate, but we have to talk about it. So, should the Halos shut down Mike Trout? Now, he got hurt April 29th against the Phillies, and he hasn't come back since. He is recovering from his meniscus surgery, but it's going slower than anticipated. The recovery is, I should say. He is yet to start running, and he does not have a timeline to return. I know it's not happening as quick as he liked. He spoke to the media on Tuesday before that loss against Milwaukee. He said, quote, "It's getting there. It's obviously slower than I thought. It's my first time with a knee injury." So that's always just mind-boggling there. And he also says, just trusting the process, taking it day by day. But he's yet to even jog or use a stationary bike. He hopes to return to baseball activity soon. He's trying to get strength back in his knee. And the issue, the funny thing I find here, he says the tricky thing has been finding exercises that don't make the knee ache or irritate the next day. And he has general soreness and pain from the surgery. And Trout has never dealt with knee issues. And he's trying to determine what pain is normal or abnormal. So, Milu, all this is saying it's going to be another 2 months, if anything. And remember last year he came back for one game only.
I was there.
And he was gone just like that. And what was that in August? I can't recall of last year. I want to say August or July. I can't remember.
It was July.
I think it was July. So maybe it'll happen again in August this time this year. But if you're the Angels, do you just shut him down and just say, "Hey, come back next year. The team isn't going anywhere," or do you want to give him that old college try and make him go out there and try to get ticket sales up, or just deal with the reality?
Well, you gotta remember that this meniscus surgery that he had comes with a 6 to 8 week period to heal. That's on top of everything else. So soreness is normal for this time frame that he was given, and to fully recover is probably a good 3 to 4 months. So he's right on schedule, really. I mean, he's already rehabbing a little bit, but it's going to be sore. It's normal soreness, and he's going to have to deal with it for a long time. But I mean, shutting him down, I don't know. I mean, we go through this every year.
Mm-hmm.
I know he wants to play, and don't forget, he's about to have another kid, so that could all play into this too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say that because I know the man really wants to play. He's Mike Trout. Of course he wants to play. But shutting him down, I always said he was going to come back in August. And that's still my timeline. I think he comes back in August. Looking at our record, we'll see where it's at the All-Star break. Right now, we're not playing for anything, really. We're 13 and a half out of the AL West, first place out of the AL West, and we're 11 and a half out in the wild card. So there's really no rush to have him back. But I'd like to see him play by August. Will they shut him down? That remains to be seen. I mean, they very well could, judging by our record. But I think he comes back in August or September at the latest. I say if he's still feeling soreness in August, I think you shut him down for the year. That's just my opinion, because I know we're gonna have a bad record regardless. So we'll see the way the team's playing, but shutting him down, I don't know. Same goes for Rendon. If he can't play, then he's just collecting a paycheck. But he's closer than Trout, so they say. But I think Trout comes back to play at least a little bit before he probably goes back in the IL, and then they shut him down.
I just wish we were talking about him just staying healthy and being on a winning team, and it's just not happening. And it's just really unfortunate. So my next topic is a little bit interesting because we're going to talk about Zach Neto and Logan O'Hoppe, because they're both the young stalwarts of this ball club. They could be the team leaders going forward. And it's really unfortunate that, Mike Trout isn't that leader. He's the quiet, guy, just go about his business, just, be cool or whatever. But he's not that rah-rah type of guy unless, it's just something personal to him. It's not really anything like that. But with Zach Neto, when you think about him and the Angel shortstops in the past, my question to you, I'm trying to think of all the Angel shortstops that really made a dent in this franchise. You got Jim Fregosi, who's probably the best shortstop of this franchise. Dick Schofield, David Eckstein, Orlando Cabrera, Eric Ibar, Andrelton Simmons. And pretty much after that, or between and after that, it was just really a bunch of no ones, or they didn't stay around too long. But I'm looking at Neto's numbers, 19 home runs for his career, 65 driven in. He's yet to have a triple, and that's kind of surprising to me. I thought he would have had a triple already, to be honest with you. But his career batting average so far in the 156 games he's played in 2 years was 238. He's been hit the grand total of 20 times in 2 seasons. Remember, he was hit 16 times, and 22 was the most by Angel shortstop, a rookie shortstop in 2001. So he would have almost had the distinction of that. He's only been hit 4 times, but remember, he gets pissed after all of them. Looking at as well as on his WAR, it's only 2.0. His for this year, 3.6 this year. He's batting 254 right now. And then you look at Logan O'Hoppe, and his numbers, I believe, are a little bit better. His defense has really been improving lately. His WAR is 2.2 in his career, 108 hits, 23 home runs. He's batting 258 for his career. He's been in the league now 3 years. Only had 5 games in 2022, though, out of his 119 games so far in his career. 108 hits, 18 doubles, 1 triple, by the way, he got this year. 23 home runs, 62 driven in. His batting average, like I said, 258. And I'm just thinking to myself, okay, the Angels have had Benji Molina, Bob Boone, Lance Parrish. I'm trying to think of others in the past, but a lot of journeyman catchers that have came and gone. None that really stuck out to me other from the ones that I mentioned. But anyway, my question to you, I'm thinking to myself, okay, will Neto and Ohapi, after it's all said and done, will they be the best at their positions in Angel franchise history?
I'm sorry. Yeah, well, it's so early. Somebody was at my window.
That's never a good thing.
No, it was somebody I know. So it's all
okay.
good. Well, obviously, it's early in their careers. It's so early on to tell what they're going to turn out to be. But I think they have the potential to be the greatest at their positions. Now, Neto, he was our first round pick, so the sky's the limit for him, and he's done very well. And he's been clutch. He's developing his clutchness, and he's been clutch in so many situations. Then his bat goes away sometimes, but there's going to be a learning curve there. There's going to be growing pains. These players are still growing into the players that they're going to be, but they do certainly have the potential to be the best at their position. Ohapi, when I was talking with Trent Rush of AMA 30, he told me Ohapi, in his opinion, can be has the potential to be like a Buster Posey. Now those are high in the sky hopes. But you see his bat. I mean, he hits for average. He's hitting for a catcher above average for a catcher. He's hitting 280 something, 270. So, and defensively, he's going through some growing pains. You see the potential there.
Mm-hmm.
He can throw out runners, but his biggest quality is leadership and his bat. So that's all developing. They're both developing. So yeah, in my opinion, they do have a chance to be the best at the position, but it's too early to tell right now. It's like they've only played. This is Neto's first full season, so essentially, because he was injured most of last year when he came up, or some of last year. He's playing his first full season in Ohapi. He was injured too, so he's a former Phillies farmhand that was a really good first round pick, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, they have a potential to be very good, but Ohapi's shaping up to be like a Benji Molina, Jeff Mathis type of player. Now, Jeff Mathis was known more for his defensive skills than his bat. Benji Molina was most known for his bat and not his running abilities, as we all know. But yeah, I mean, the comparison to other players, I mean, Neto is going to be really good. I wouldn't say Derek Jeter, but the potential. His potential's sky high. So we'll see. I don't know. It's a very good question, but it's too early to tell at this point in their careers. I say they got to play 2 or 3 seasons before we brand them as the best at their positions for an Angel player thus far. So who knows?
I brought that up because I figure, they haven't really had anybody at catcher that started young with them that has already, been producing. And, like a Mike Piazza type or a Johnny Bench or Yogi Berra type or whatever the case was. They've never really had anybody like that. They've had prospects in the 60s like that, but no one to come out of the gate and be great. They either, took catchers from somewhere else and they weren't as good. Shortstops have come and gone, but no like homegrown shortstops. Not even since Fergosi, probably. Um, but yeah, I'm curious to see how the numbers go, and then if they become those leaders of the ball clubs. Now, one more business topic to get done. Now, the grand opening of Mezzo's. That's right there on Catella, right there before you go into the stadium. On your way in from um, uh, Noble. Uh, and I heard 714 tickets will move right next to it as well. Anyway, the grand opening is June 22nd. I've been there before. It's really good stuff. And Friday night for that Dodger game, they will be having a watch party for the Angels and Dodgers. Todd Fox will be there, and I hope all of you will come out, or most of you can come out. I will try to be there, but it's kind of tricky because I work the next morning very early. But I'll see what happens with that. But yeah, join Todd Fox and others, and I know he's trying to plan another date where they'll have Jose Soriano there with an interview, and it'll be really good stuff coming up with Mezzos and all the other sponsors that Halos in the Infield have. It's going to be a really great thing, and hopefully Milu and I will be there sometime to join in on the stuff. It would be a great thing to try their the food going from there to an Angel game instead of paying for parking. You just do that at Noble, grab the drinks there, and you grab more drinks and food there at Mezzo's. So it's really great to see the local businesses come alive and be opening. It's going to be I think it's going to be a very successful restaurant. Have you heard of Mezzo's, and what did you think of it?
Yeah, well, I haven't been there yet. Of course, they're just opening up. But I heard our fearless leader Tom Fox mention it, and he did a whole interactive uh, broadcast from there, remote from Messos a couple weeks ago or last week. I hear they have great calzones. Everybody raves
Mm-hmm.
about them so far. So I'm anxious to get down there myself one of these days and try a calzone and just chill and watch an Angels game and just see what it's all about. So yeah, check it out. I'm
They
I'm
had
anxious to check it out.
they had the ribbon cutting on Thursday the 20th. By the way, and yeah, they have great suds there as well. So you just gotta check it out for yourself. It's gonna
It's
be a
in that
great
strip
thing.
mall where they have the big building you see in center field
That's right.
from the
Yeah.
stadium. The gray building right there. It's right in front of that. So
It's just amazing how
off of Catella,
all three of the sponsorships will be right there.
right there we have Noble. You can grab a beer like I was telling. I think you last week. You grab a beer at Todd. Grab a beer from Noble. Spend some time there. Head over across the street to Mezzo's. Grab a calzone. You can hit 714 tickets on the other side, soon to be next to Mezzo's. On the other side of the stadium, then go to a game. Perfect. You can hit all places all in one day.
It's
Or you can go to
all
714
coming together.
tickets, grab a beer at Noble, then come to Mezzo's and watch a game. And then go to the stadium if
Definitely.
if you have tickets. So yeah, it's easy. All of our sponsorship right there.
So speaking of 714 tickets, make sure you go there for all your ticket needs, and then Noble L Works for the suds. Make
To the
sure you
good
mention
people.
Heedy. At 714 tickets, you mention Heedy and get the 10% off in the checkout. And also go to Believe.com for the podcast form of this, and then also check out BetOnline.com. We'll leave with final thoughts. How about you, Milu?
Well, I'm hoping that I'm really excited for this Freeway Series. I always get up for this one. I'm hoping we go 2-0, but I'll be happy with the split. Hopefully we're not 0-2, but with this team, we
Yeah,
know the reality. So we'll see. But hey, let's beat the pants off those Dodgers, huh?
that
Let's
would
do it.
be
Let's beat
something.
Shohei, and then we go and then we have another homestand. But Yeah, we need to beat the blue crew. We do. We went from one blue crew to the other. So
that's true.
that's
All right, we'll
crazy.
get out of here with episode 19 of James Squared, and yeah, beat those Dodgers. We'll see you next time.
Beat those Dodgers. Let's go. Hopefully, when we're talking to you,